Hi, welcome to a brand new concept here on KTAR.com. It's called Pat's Portraits, and it simply is introducing you to people you don't know that you should know, or people that you think you know, but you'll see in a very different light. In this case, Allison DuBois, the medium.
Yes.
Can't go into all of your credits because we only got about 5 minutes. So let's talk, though, about your career field. There are so many people who call themselves mediums. They say they talk to dead people.
Right.
Where's the proof?
Well, I think the proof is in the longevity of mediums being useful. I mean, we have been around for all of history. It's not something that's going to go away. But the proof, I mean, I've been studied by scientists. We've all laid it on the line, and not all of us, some of us more than others. But
You'll acknowledge that there are frauds in your business.
as in any business, there's going to be some bad apples. Then there's just some people that aren't good enough to do it professionally, but they really want to help people, so they try. But as far as great mediums, they're far and few between, I would have to say. It takes a specific kind of personality to tolerate people questioning something that they can't see that you can, obviously. And I could see both sides. But for me, it's not even a question. It's soulful. It's something that resonates within that you know is true, that you don't need proof. Like love. You know, love isn't something that you necessarily can grasp, you know, but it's something that you feel and you know is there. And I think that souls are the same way. It's a feeling.
Ever change a skeptic's mind?
Many, yes. And a lot of them just get angry when I'm right, so that's fine too. For instance, when I know when a body's going to be found from like a murder, and I'll say, you know, they're going to find her body in 2 weeks, and they find her body 2 weeks later, and they go, oh, well, you're a good guesser. It's like, no, I'm a good guesser, okay. So they come up with reasons to explain it away instead of looking at the most obvious answer that we really do exist.
Ever been afraid? Doing what you do, have you ever been afraid?
Not bringing people through, sitting in a courtroom with somebody who murdered somebody else that was an innocent victim, sitting 5 feet from that person that feels so angry, and I can pull impressions off of them of what they did and the fear that the person felt that they did it too. That's frightening. I find the living far scarier than the dead.
I would never insult you by asking you for lottery numbers. A couple of reasons. One is you'd hit me, and the other reason is you probably wouldn't give them to me anyway, even if you could divine them somehow.
Sure.
But as long as I've known you, I have wondered about calling upon specific people, not for entertainment, but for information. Could you ask JFK who killed him?
I mean, I could. I would only do something like that if a family member or somebody who loved him was present and wanted that
Why?
experience.
Why not just out of your own curiosity or your participation in history?
Honestly, the most fascinating thing and what I enjoy with what I do isn't being right or pulling the information from them. It's how it affects the living person that loved them, the messages that they get, or you know, how it calms them. That's why I do what I do. It's not for the wow factor. It's not for any other reason. And I don't need to know certain answers to JFK because I can't bring him back physically, you know, but the people that love him, if they wanted to know, I would be willing to do it. There has to be a connection with somebody living now, or it's not worth doing for me.
Things that I think people want to know about the other side. Do children who are dead grow?
It's a very good question, by the way. Children who are very small, like say they were 18 months old, they usually appear to be more like 3, you know, maybe where they're able to communicate better. It feels like a choice of if they want it or not, but I don't see them, a baby pass and then them become 18. You know, I don't see that. They're more likely to revert in age rather than accelerate in age. For instance, suicides tend to revert to a younger age before their chemical imbalance took over or before life got so complicated. They tend to revert to childhood when they were close to their mom or their dad and things were still good.
What about the condition of the body? Does that have anything to do with the condition of the spirit? Cremation, explosions, that kind of thing?
No. Once somebody passes, their soul's completely intact. I mean, cancer patients come through, or cancer people who passed from cancer, I don't want to call them victims because they don't see themselves that way, but they always say that they survived cancer, like they beat cancer because they're still here, their soul's still here, which I love. But they tend to show themselves in the best version physically of what they ever were in their life. So women are more vain, they revert to 18, 19, 20. Men tend to not care as much, 30's good for them, or the age that they were the happiest. But if you were in an explosion, say in like 9/11 or something that was very traumatic, they don't show themselves in a macabre, awful way. They'll make me feel the pain they felt just a little bit so I can identify how they died. And then they say, but I feel great now. And their bodies are completely intact and beautiful.
We've only got a few seconds left, I'm sorry to say.
It's okay.
Where do spirits live? Are they all here, or are they in some other dimension?
If there's nobody alive that they love, there's no reason for them to stay. They stay to be with us, to be a part of our lives still. So even though we're missing them in life, they can't miss us because they're still a part of our life on a daily basis. If there's nobody left alive that they love, there's no reason for them to be here, so they get to be in their version of heaven, which is with their parents that passed or their grandfather that they love, by the lake, fishing, whatever it is that they enjoyed doing. The house that they lived in as a child that was full of music, that exists for them now, even if physically that house is gone. There's nothing to be afraid of when we pass. It's the living that we leave behind that makes us sad to think about not being here, but there's nothing to fear in death.
Pat's portrait of Allison DuBois.